Now let's look at the solution to question number 4. Now question number 4 comes in the writing section, which is talking about how to write a story. So all those of you who have trouble handling story writing as a question, keep in mind these questions are basically looking at the narrative of explanation. How you essentially present a plot, the setting of a story, the characterization and everything. So there is no one way of writing a story, obviously. Like if I read the question here, it says write a story in 150 to 200 words with the help of the following outline. Give it a suitable title also. You can either choose the first outline where a cricket match is going on, boys playing in the street, Ram hit the ball, a second floor window pane broken, and then you build the plot along. Or you can choose Ahmed went to watch Diwali Mela with his parents. He wanted to enjoy a ride in the merry-go-round, his father, and then the story continues. Whichever line of thought you pick, keep in mind that the story writing carries a marking scheme of 10 marks. And in this 10 mark section, what essentially matters for a writer? Here, the story as a template talks about distribution of marks per se, format where the title itself carries 1 mark. If you do not supply it with a suitable title, you lose this 1 mark straight away. Thereafter, the content of the story carrying 4 marks has to talk about how the story must start with a cue given in the question. There must be clarity of plot, logical sequence of events, well-defined characters and an apt conclusion. If all this is there, you get these 4 marks of content. What is more important then? The next part, which is the expression, carries 5 marks. In this expression, creativity matters, grammatical accuracy, appropriate words, spelling, coherence and relevance, originality of ideas and style. All this matters. You have to remember there is no one way of writing story, but the elements of story are defined. Those have to be there in your story for you to score as high as possible. So what are these elements of stories? If I talk about the elements of story writing per se, the first thing you need is a theme. Something important that the story tries to tell. How do you build upon a theme if you have no plot? So you have to have a plot, which is the systematic arrangements of events, the journey of a character. So you need to know before writing, who am I really going to talk about? What is it going to highlight? Once I have that in mind, then I build characters. So the next element, which is the structure. A good story needs a good structure. You can choose to either write in first person or in third person, completely as per your comfort level. It should be consistent in tense usage, that is vital, either in present tense or in past tense. You are not supposed to jump unnecessarily in terms of narrative because the expression is important. Here, the speech also matters. So the transition in tense, the time is very crucial. You can incorporate both direct and indirect speech. Just do not add too many dialogues here. Thereafter, characters that have to be etched really well. So you have to know your characters well. Main character should be someone whom readers can feel something in common with, which is the relatability factor. But this is not something that you have to always follow. Just have characters that stand to their ground. They are basically dynamic characters. They don't have to run flat on the story. Like you have number of people, but they're not really doing anything in the story. That does not matter. Then, setting, style and tone is very important. Use language that is right for your story. Use action and speech to let the readers know what's happening. Use simple words and sentences with idioms to enhance expression. This is the part where you have to make sure that the setting is so well laid out that the story becomes a vivid imagery in front of the examiner. He should be able to see the whole story running, and that's when you get marks for your expression. So I hope with these elements you are able to see that story writing is all about a good plot, having a theme to elaborate upon, and a good style and setting. You can choose to either write from a drama genre or a science fiction genre, or for that matter a moral-based story completely as per your forte. Just don't write a story that does not evolve up to a good climax and does not have anything in anticipation for the readers. So I hope this was satisfactory enough. I'm sure you will be able to write a good story. Let's proceed to the next question, which is part of the grammar section. Let's look at question number 5.